who come later than me. That's more.
Okay, okay,
Go
okay.
ahead. I want to make sure everybody gets it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, again, New York City, New York Stock Exchange. I'm an investor, and I'm there. So I'm meeting people and met people from different walks of life, and the language and the deals and hearing. I was like, oh my goodness. I was encouraged that we keep doing what we're doing.
Okay.
The wealth gap is 10 to 1.
Mm,
It would take over 248 years for us to even come close.
wow.
However, I was so encouraged. I met a banker.
Mm-hmm.
I met a young man who was, I guess he was a venture capitalist
Mm,
and the
okay.
Mohawk. He said, I take 2 deals a year and I look for 100% impact. I'm like,
Okay.
what is your day like? Didn't get into a whole lot, but the blessing was being able to see and to be there. I think I sent you a picture of angels.
You did. Yes. Yes. Being
Now,
in the room. Yeah.
here's your God moment. So I'm
Yeah.
in this room, receiving room, and everybody. That's why I'm friendly, but nobody said no. I said, well, I'm comfortable in the skin I'm in. And
Yeah.
I sat there. I saw one African American lady. I said hi, and she didn't want to talk. It's all good. This Asian gentleman comes over and starts to talk to me. How you doing? I'm Pastor Will from Philadelphia. He says, I'm an eye doctor. I did my residency in Philadelphia, Will's Eye. So yeah, I know where that's at. He said, I also went to church there, Presbyterian church. I said, what? I said,
What?
what church you go to? He said, it was Presbyterian Walnut Spruce. I said, was it 10th Presbyterian Church? He said, yes. I said, that was the famous James Montgomery Boyce. He said, yes.
Oh, wow.
He said, on Angel Studios, one of the movies is about me. I'm like, what? He said, it's called Sight, Sight.
Oh, really?
And he says to me, he says, we have our physical sight. We need our spiritual sight.
Wow. He ready to preach.
He ready to preach now. He says, get your phone out. He shows me the video on the Angel app because I'm a guild member, I'm an investor. Okay. He said,
Yeah.
that's me. I said, I'm gonna watch your movie when I get because I've seen other movies. I ain't see that one.
Right. Right. Right.
Oh, I'm gonna watch your movie. He said, I have a book. And I said to him, I said, well, in church right now in Bible study, we're going through Hebrews. And I said, you know what? I said, we're going to show you a movie at the end of Hebrews. And he said, oh, great. He said, I'll even come and do a Zoom to give my testimony. Alyssa,
Wow.
Friday. And then he put my number in his phone and we shared. I said, okay, that's me. That's me. Listen, I got home and I went on my Angel Studios app to watch the movie Sight. I
Okay.
was in tears.
Wow.
Let me tell you what God did. Because he, from communist China, smart, he went to MIT and Harvard.
Really?
God brought the smartest man in the room over to me.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I had to text him back after I saw the movie. The man's a genius,
Wow.
a genius. So several things took place. Because I pray very everybody was up. That's a father. I'm, I'm serious. I said, Father, yo, make no mistakes.
Right.
I said,
Right.
I'm here representing E2T.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
And I said, help me to be encouraged and motivated.
Yeah.
And then as I saw the bell ring, because I wasn't up there, but I was next to a comedian by the name of Jeff Allen,
Okay.
talking to him. Saw Dave Winfield
Mm,
there. So I will say this, like you said, let's stay green and get that money. And we have to teach this to others.
yeah.
And you never know who you're going to run into. So I'm going to
Hmm.
encourage everybody to, if you get a chance, to watch the movie called Sight.
Sight. Sight.
As I
Okay.
did. His name is Dr. Ming Wang.
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat. So
Okay.
I've been encouraged, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. But again, and they gave me this coin too. I got this coin. I should have bought some for everybody. It was a coin, stock market, and it's kind of hard to see. I gotta get in the right way. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a picture and send it. But again, I was thoroughly encouraged
Wonderful.
and motivated even more so. And listen, I was even there looking. I said, what's the market look like? Well, the market shot up. So That is my testimony. And I want to encourage us again to know both sides, because again,
Yeah.
remember, when you look at, I went to Foley Square, I went to
Mm-hmm.
Wall Street and Pearl. I want to go to the African burial grounds, but I didn't have time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Mm-hmm.
have time, so I said, well, I may have to go back because I took the train up, took the
Mm-hmm.
subway. You know,
Okay.
I just had a suit. I didn't even have a whole lot of stuff to carry. You
Uh-huh.
know, but to be able to see and understand our history, because even this, watch this, when South Carolina was going to succeed from the Union, New York was going to succeed as well,
Mm.
because South Carolina owed New York a lot of money.
Mm.
When you look at these banks and the insurance companies, as I said, 40 acres and a mule, it was given, then it was rescinded, and all this we have to share this with our young people. And what we're doing, you are doing a stellar, blessed job. And I was like, as I said, Janae, I called your name too. I said, the assistant. I said, Janae. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I did. I asked God. Listen, I asked God to bless us. I said, Lord,
Oh, wow.
I said,
Amen.
because I'm there. I'm looking. I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'm listening.
What day
I'm,
was this again?
I'm listening what people are saying.
Was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday.
That was Thursday. It was
Yeah.
Thursday.
Okay, I won. I won Thursday. Thank you. Thank you.
And
Yes.
listen, I think I saw
We all
somebody.
did.
And
Thank you.
listen,
Thank
it
you.
was, and I said to myself, here I am up here today. I'm praying for everybody. And I said, well, hallelujah. It was a wonderful. I said, look at the market.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I want to encourage your heart again,
Thank you.
all you doing. And if we can tell more people and we can learn how to do this so we can be a benefit to our family, our
Mm-hmm.
anybody who will listen. And as I said, I did my hack, my PDT hack. I worked on that, and I think I got it. But
I got
I
it.
think I'm still on. You know, the baby says, but I'm in my sim. I think
Mm-hmm.
I got it, but I'm still practice. Because see, here's the thing. I'm ready to take off now.
Yeah.
I took pictures of in on the floor. I said, let me look at their charts. Let me what kind of setup do they have? Listen, I wanted to get down there so bad and talk. I said, let me see what you doing. What's this? Well, let me see. Let me take a picture of your screen, but you can't do that. But I was encouraged. So I encourage everybody. What we're doing is a blessing.
Yeah.
These skills will pay your bills. That's
All
That's
right. Well, I mean, this is that it's so encouraging that to know that, I mean, for you to go,
right to the
um,
New York Stock Exchange.
to,
That's great.
I mean, to take us with you. Like you took us
listen.
Did
with
you
you,
see
right?
Peter Tosh? What's his name?
Oh yeah,
No,
touch me. No,
Tuckerman.
I was looking, but I didn't
The
see
the
him.
Einstein looking
Yep.
dude.
I was looking, I didn't see him.
Oh, okay.
Because he was on Instagram, I think the night before he went live on Instagram, and I watched him real quick, and I said, boy, if I could see him. But because I was standing in the one reception, and I said, Lord, bring who you'll bring who you'll
Now,
bring.
did you
Yeah.
officially go up there when they rang the bell?
No, so what happens is you
Oh,
have a badge. You got
okay.
this badge thing.
I don't feel bad now because I was like, I thought I was trying to look for you. I was like, I mean, I know what he looked
So
like.
no, so they had the young people, they had the CEO, they had people so we were on the sides.
Gotcha.
On this,
Uh-huh.
but you can still see, because
Yeah.
there's a big screen right there, and I was able to see down CNBC down on the floor. But I look to go back to do because I did my own self walking tour, and I look
Yeah,
to
I do
go
want to
back.
go to the burial ground myself.
You're right, yeah. And so that's why you're like, I mean, and here's the thing, you're talking to people, and you're in the room, and people don't know what you know.
Right.
Oh, good point.
I'm just saying, and so everybody was cool, but I'm like, it's not don't get it. Now.
Right. Right. Right.
I know I spoke with somebody, I gave him a card, and it says Reverend Dr. Wilbur Winborn. And I don't use it, only if needed. And I said that's an earned doctorate.
Yeah. I earned that one. That wasn't given.
I know that's
Before
right.
you get it twisted. This is in leadership. I thought with somebody, no, this is earned doctorate. Don't
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it. But it was a
Money,
great
sweat, and
blessing.
tears.
Yeah, no, oh, please.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work. What
Yeah.
problem are you going to solve in the world? What about
Right.
research? So it was a blessing. And I asked God to bless our community. I did. I said, Father, you have
Thank you.
me here and I'm learning. You as an answer to prayer. I am a retired financial literacy teacher. That's what I've been teaching for the past 3 years. I'm telling students, and I said, boy, wouldn't it be great if we could have a class trip to go up here? And God was like, oh, you invested some money with them? Okay. You want to go? I'm like, you know what? Sign me up.
Dude, sign me up. That's good. I mean, it's good that you were able to go. I think that's wonderful.
So as I said, I
And
didn't
thank you for thinking of us. Thank you for thinking of me.
listen, duty bound. Because again, the Einstein of Wall Street. I would love. I thought I said I would love to have seen. I would love to be able to volunteer as an intern just to be on the floor and see what's going
Mm,
on down there.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that myself.
mm-hmm.
I saw other African Americans. I encourage their hearts because some people
Yeah.
don't speak to you. I'm like, no, no, gentlemen, thank you for all you do. I hope you have millions of zillions.
Now, speaking of that, what was the demographic on there? It's not
Oh
us.
Lord, Jesus. Well, I'll start with this. When I first got there weren't that many African Americans.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm looking around the room, seeing who's who, so I can, I want to say hi. Now, some folk didn't, like Dave Winfield, he's millionaire baseball,
Baseball player. Yeah, I
Right.
thought that's who you was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, Dave baseball player. Now, anyway, I saw another actor. I think must have had his son and grandson, but listen, they ain't seen me. I saw one lady, hi, how you doing? Listen, and so I'm happy in my skin. Because I
Yeah.
said, my thing is this: if we're here and you're here, and I don't know you, who are you, and
Right,
how
right,
did
right.
you get here? And some people did ask me, our Caucasian people, how, good
They
afternoon.
will ask, right,
How
right,
are you? Good
right. They
afternoon.
will ask. Like, you
How are
sure
you?
you're
Good
supposed
afternoon.
to
No,
be
I'm an
here?
investor. That's every day,
Mm-hmm.
right? What do you do? And who are you? Is, family taking a picture, whatever. Y'all from Texas. Oh, I said, oh, help me, Jesus. Him from Texas. My
Mm,
Eagles. But I try to make friends. Listen, I'm the last person out of every room wherever I go.
mm.
Never met a friend I didn't like. So I'm gonna tell you, I was encouraged. I was thoroughly encouraged. That's why I'm here tonight. I said, Lord, got the football game on, Eagles playing. I said, but let me, because I had Sunday night prep.
Yeah, Sunday night prep. That's right. We got to get it. We
So
got to
that's
get
my
it.
that's my story. As I said,
Thank you for sharing it with us. I
I ask
appreciate that.
God to bless everybody. Everybody should. We should all be millionaires. That was my prayer, Lord. Millionaires on top. Because see, when you come back, I have
Right.
this mindset. Oh, there's no reason why I can't be a millionaire.
From your mouth to God's ears.
So I'm
Okay.
saying there's no reason.
That's right.
Listen, there's no reason why we can't. None
Amen.
whatsoever.
All right.
None whatsoever.
Did God
Uh,
give you the time frame?
slowly but surely.
Steady.
Uh, but again, as I said, I didn't take with me the Prince of Darkness. I'll take it in this book. This is the first untold story of Jeremiah G. Hamilton, Wall Street's first black millionaire, mid 1800s. This is what I'm reading right now, and I'm also reading a Random Walk Down Wall Street, reading on that too. So,
Random. Hold up. We know who,
oh,
that's not Reginald, is it?
um,
No, that's
that's Bert.
Lewis.
That's Burton.
Oh
The
no, I
creator
know. Oh, Random. Okay,
of
I got
Random
that.
Walk Down Wall Street. Yeah. But the one I'm really on is this is the Prince of Darkness. This is the one I'm on right now.
What's the name? What's the author?
This author is Shane White.
Mm,
Shane Shane White. So I encourage you to read that. The writer, his style, he goes out, brings you back, goes here, brings you back, goes here. And now he wasn't what you call a committed Christian, but it just gives you the flavor. And I'm almost here. I'm almost because I'm past halfway through the book. I'm in the chapter called Living with Jim Crow. And I didn't get to the part where he starts making the money yet. So
Like, are we getting to the money yet?
not yet.
Show me the
That's this is
money.
this is the next chapter. It's called Making Money.
Okay. Okay. You're almost ready. You're almost there.
So
Yes.
that's my
Tell us how we get past the Jim Crow, because I don't know why I feel like you want to creep back up. What's up?
well. Here's one thing. For example, when I'm in the room, I almost felt like a spy.
Mm,
I always
okay.
felt like a spy. I think about Harriet Tubman. She
Mm.
was a spy for the Union Army, and she's traveling. And I want to go back and come back and share what I've learned with other people so they can
Mm-hmm.
help their family.
Mm-hmm.
So um, nobody addressed anything negative, anything like that. So which was cool, which was good, because that wouldn't have been good at all. Just saying that wouldn't have been good at all.
Right, right, right,
Yeah, I mean, excuse you,
right.
Um, we are people of the human race.
Mhm.
True.
So you was on New York, you was at the New York Stock Exchange and you saw less than a handful of us?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
As far as in my group and also on the floor, I
No,
looked.
right.
Yes, no, no, no,
Yeah, I
no.
mean, I guess I would know. I
Yeah,
would expect that not everybody understands or knows who Angel is, but on the floor, who the real stock exchangers are, who the real money changers are, who the ones selling and buying.
I took a million pictures,
Okay.
and I'll pop one. I'll pop one in the Telegram, maybe
Yeah,
because I took one on the floor. You might blow it up, look and see it, but I'll send it so you can see.
perfect,
Um,
perfect.
but again, for us, I think it's important that we continue to encourage our family and those who will listen to
Mhm.
learn this skill, because one of the things is nobody knows who you are or what you have. And as I said, I was there and there's like looking on my phone going on, what's going on right now? I'm looking at the boards, and I was too nervous to kind of do anything because in my Robinhood, because I already used to my day trades. And
Okay.
I didn't want to make a mistake by not being
Right, not paying attention
a
to it.
concentrate. But let
Uh-huh.
me tell you, when I saw that market shot up, when I saw that market shot
You're
up,
like, yay, good thing I was not trying to be in it.
I said, "Well, Lord, you answered prayer." I said, "But I said I wanted to be a part of it, Lord." So, but that's my.
Yeah,
I'll
we
see.
did
I'll
have
see.
all-time highs.
We definitely hit all-time highs yesterday on Friday.
Right.
Yeah, Friday and Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Thursday,
we
that's
start.
true.
It started Thursday. The
Yeah,
bullishness started Thursday, and
that's
remember,
true.
it just slowly creeped into Friday.
Yep.
That's
So,
true.
So tell
yeah,
us what to do for tomorrow. That's right.
Yeah.
I do believe, Coach. I kind of I heard what you said. I kind of feel we might retreat.
Mm-hmm. I think we're probably gonna, I'm going to the chart. I think we're gonna do maybe a little pulling back just to see
Yeah,
where did my
yeah.
Zoom go?
Especially since well, you know what I always ask before you end your call on a Sunday.
Yes, to look at
Go.
ES. All righty. Thank you, Pastor Will. I appreciate you for sharing your
One
trip.
last question. Are you in Philly?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay, you say you took the train. I was like, you took the train
Yeah. I'm in
from
Philly.
Florida? I was like, oh my God.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
okay.
No,
Gotcha.
no, 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 no. I'm in Philly.
Okay.
My daughter dropped me off. I jumped on the train and took the subway. I went to the World Trade Center too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I went there
yeah.
first
Well, that's awesome.
and then walked up.
You
Yep.
gotta go again. How long was the train ride?
Hour and a half.
Yeah, it couldn't be
Oh,
too
that's
long.
not bad.
No,
You
it's not bad
definitely
at all.
gotta go.
I left at 11 and by 1 o'clock I was at the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I walked to
My mother
Foley
used to work in
Square.
the World Trade Center.
I hit Foley Square and then I walked to the exchange a little before because you're going at 2 o'clock. When I want to be late, got there about 2 o'clock.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
Cool.
and it was good weather that week, that day. So that's,
perfect. I just had the wrong shoes on. I have to have a certain point though, because I had dress
but
shoes
it
on.
was also somber because you went on 9/11.
Yes, 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 yes. So I prayed the whole time. I said, Lord, you got to help us, Lord. Because I said to myself, well, the comedian Jeff Allen, I said, well, if you ever see me again and I come to one of your shows, I'll be the heckler that says, where were you on 9/11 2025?
Uh-oh. He's gonna be
and
like, "At the World Trade Center."
he asked for prayer for his son, as a matter of fact, too. We talked. He said his son was going into rehab that day. So I committed to pray for his son and his wife. And so I was able to
Oh,
get some
good.
prayers in there and whatnot. But again, Dr. Ming site. I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, if you
Yeah,
get a chance,
definitely. We'll definitely look at that.
and then maybe he can help us in the next stock that deals with eyes.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. All right. So let's look. I'm looking at the chart as we go. Last week we covered a bunch of stuff, and I realized when we were done with the call that we really didn't look at the chart. It's like this is supposed to be a charting call. It ended up being we did other stuff, which I believe was just as important, but it was we didn't do any charting. So I'm looking here. This is a weekly candle that we're on. that I'm on here. This is the weekly high, basically all-time high, right at 6,600. I think it went right up to 6,621 cents. So it peaked across just a little bit and then
Mhm.
went on back down. And we closed at 65.84. So this is the weekly close at 65.84. So I'm on the weekly chart so I can see this weekly candle, right? And then we've got the weekly open. Weekly open with an N was at 64.98. So just below 6,500 was the weekly open. Weekly low went down to about 64. Where are you? Right at 64.82 was the weekly low. Okay, there are some supports and resistance when I went down to, we go down to the daily chart. If we go down to the daily chart, we've got a couple of gaps I had mentioned on the call. We've got a gap between between Tuesday and Wednesday. There's a little bit of a gap left. Looks like it's from 65.12 up to 65.16. I'm going to call that a buyer's gap because it is. Let's clone it and bring this one down here. Buyer's gap between 65.12 and 65.16 is a buyer's gap. That was from Tuesday to Wednesday. And then from Wednesday was a pullback. Wednesday pulled back, and when it pulled back in Thursday, it gapped up. So it left some stuff behind it. So there's a buyer's gap also on Thursday, which is from 65.32 up to 65.45. That's a bigger gap. But if you're on the dailies chart, remember the gap is from the close of one candle to the open of another, not just the gaps between things, but the gap here. This is where that candle closed. This candle opened, the Thursday candle opened here, but then there's price action that we can take away from the gap. So whatever has not been filled, which is all of this, that is what remains of the gap. All right, that's how we do gaps. That's how gaps should be done. Not just we, but that's how gaps should be done. That's what's left of the gap is 65.32 to 65.45. With 65.45 and 65.50 has been like a support or a magnet area. So could it come back down there to that? Sure enough could, okay? Because we're only 50 points away. It's not like we're way far away, right? We closed at 65.84. 65.44 is 50 points. No, actually 30 points below this. We know that SPX can go grab 30 points. It can sometimes grab 30 points in power hour. So we know that that is not a hard thing to go do. All right. Now there's in this Thursday candle, there's some spots. I'm going to go to, this is a big candle. Let's go to a smaller time frame, see if it's all just momentum. And the 11th was here. I don't really see anything. When I look at the hourly chart, this is really two big candles. So I got to go to a smaller time frame even again to see, is there something in there, and it looks like this is a lot of momentum. Thursday was what? PPI? No, CPI. CPI was Thursday. I know PPI was first and then CPI was next. This was a big push first thing in the morning on Thursday. I'm trying to see if I see any other. There's a bit of a slowdown right here in the middle, but not really a lot. I don't know if I would call this, I kind of would call it a chair. Maybe we can put one in here around 65, 66. We may be able to put a 15-minute support here. Maybe able to put a 15-minute support at 65, 66. 15-minute support, resistance. Because if it price get below it, it'll be support, it'll be resistance. 1 hour support and resistance is at 65.49, 65.50, which we know that to be a zone, right? Okay, okay, okay. Now I did see a few pieces of profit from this week, which was good. We saw we had some profitability this week. I want to encourage you that no matter what you do that's green, if it's green, we take it, right? $20, $50, $100, that's 20 more dollars for the week. I know when we have comparison, some people are pulling in 1,000, someone else may be pulling in 100. And so however you're green, we're gonna call it yes, yes, and yes. We're just gonna be grateful and expect, as Pastor Will is saying, that God will continue to bless us and we'll continue to walk on into our millionaire status. All right. We're gonna continue to walk into our millionaire status. I'm calling this is our learnings. We're definitely learning and getting solidified on where we are at this point. Looks like 65.90 may also be some support resistance. We're a little below it now, but I do see two peaks right there at 65.89.90. Okay, this is all on the 15-minute chart. So when you're doing your charting, start with the week. You've got the daily, right? You've got the weekly, daily. Then you can come down to 1 hour, 4 hour, whichever. If we're trading every day, you can come down to, I mean, you can look at the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Try not to make your chart too noisy. And I say noisy, like mine with all those lines on it is a bit noisier than I like it. Make it at least where you're comfortable with what you're seeing. Okay. Make it where you're comfortable with what you're seeing. Anybody got questions about the charting on SPX? There are many people who chart SPX. They don't necessarily look always at SPX, but they go and look at, and the Janae does this too. Look at Nvidia, look at Apple, look at Microsoft, look at Amazon. Look at some of the bigger holdings inside of SPX and see what they're doing. And when you see what they're doing, that can give us some indication on what SPX, because we know SPX doesn't have shares. It's a composite of all those other things. And if they're green, then it'll be green. If they're red, it'll be red. That's kind of how that goes. Okay. All righty. Let's turn on our VWAP. We'll look at VWAP, not on the session, but let's look at it now on the month, because we've got a little bit of month behind us now. We've got some month behind us on VWAP. If you're looking for multi-day trades, you can check your VWAP. You see for the month, we are the buyers are definitely in control. Price is on top of this. Blue line is VWAP. Price is on top of VWAP. So we're definitely still in bullish territory. VWAP is now at 65.02. That's where the median line is. As we're trading above it, the buyers are in control. And the top of VWAP got us going all the way up to 66.73. This push here from Thursday pushed it up a bit. It's like it wants to level. It needs to level back off though, because what are we doing? Okay, that's the month. I don't know if we need the quarter. What are we in? We're the second part. No, we're at the end of this quarter, right? This is the last month. This is September. Quad witching is coming up. Oh, there we go. Quad witching is coming up this Friday too, because this is the third week of September. So quad witching is coming up. Most companies are going to close their books out at the end of this month, right? Most companies close their books at the end of the third quarter, right? Got all kind of headwinds this week. Will somebody get ready to say something?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt your flow. Greetings to you.
Hi.
I was trying to put the VWAP on. I saw you were on the daily time frame,
Mm-hmm.
and my VWAP just didn't look like yours. Is this the spot for technical support or not really?
Yeah, oh yeah, you're in the right place. Um, I,
Okay.
I I'm on VWAP. I did it. I anchored it on the quarter, so it's anchored.
Okay.
And when you just were looking at it, it was anchored on the month. That may be why yours wasn't looking like mine.
Anchored on the session here. Let me change that
Yeah,
to
usually
quarter.
I anchor it on the session, but I was anchoring it on the month just so we could see where we are monthly, that we're still above the VWAP.
Beautiful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So when I put it on the month, it does look like yours. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Thank you.
I'll move it to like the week or the month if I'm looking for multi-day trip. I'm looking for one DTE sometime or five DTE. I'll go up to this, anchor it on the month or the week or something like that, so I can get a wider range. Well, as far as the data, to see what would be good strikes if I'm looking to do that. But generally, almost on a daily basis, it stays anchored on the session.
Thank you for that.
Yep, you're welcome. Because we're trading it every day. Okay, let's go look at our fair value gaps on our daily chart. Let's look at our fair value gaps. Now, we've got fair value FVG by nephew Sam. We've got FVG by nephew Sam if you're looking at fair value gaps. And I like this one because nephew Sam shows us the fair value gaps on multiple time frames, even if you're not on that time frame on your chart. So this one here, we see a daily. This is DFVG, it's daily. The 1 hour over here, daily, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily. So there you see the fair value gaps are kind of stacked up, which that's another thing that makes me think we may do some pulling back because all of this is imbalance that has been left behind. And when it comes back to get it, I don't know, but we do know between where we are, which is about 80 something points away, and clearing off these fair value gaps. it- it's going to need to come back and get it basically. So question is just when, and because the next set is 60 in the 64, 64, 66, somewhere down there. But these ones that are in striking distance, I feel like price is going to try to come back and get them. Okay. Anybody got questions on fair value gaps as far as them being on your chart, or which indicator? Indicator FVG by nephew Sam.
What did you use on Friday?
I knew you was going to say
Exactly.
that. I knew it. Okay, let's go look at Friday. Ay, ay, ay. Here's Friday. This is a 15-minute chart. I think I might have been on a 5-minute by the time I took that last trade. And did I do a call credit spread at the end that you asked me about? Was it?
I think it was a PCS. It
Think
had
it
to be.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 65. Hold on. It was mhm. Yeah, it was
80.95.
65.95,
Yeah.
6,600.
6,600. Mm-hmm. 95, 6,600. Oh man, what made me do that? I'm thinking when it came down through here and couldn't get back up. Well, I feel like
Yeah, I
this
agree. I
one,
think so. It didn't. Yeah, I think it lost
yeah.
some of its. It definitely lost some momentum. Um,
Uh.
the end. Because technically, what chart are you on? It's a 1 minute.
It's a 5 minute. It had to be that 65, 95, 66, because everything else
Yeah, it was 65.95, 6,600.
mm-hmm.
It's just saying, after it hit 66, it lost its sale. It came right back down.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't sustain, keep going up. So it dropped. And the MOC was negative. It wasn't big, but it was still, it fell.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, did you apply a fair value gap as to why you got into that trade?
Yes, that did.
Which
Because
one?
we were now, the fair value gaps will go away once they cross, but I feel like there was something, was it this one? Maybe after it rejected off of this here, after it rejected off of that 93, but I didn't, what, 95? Yeah. After it came up here and rejected off of the middle of this one,
Hmm.
then I did above that, which was 95, 6,600.
Yeah, I tried to too, but I think I put too much premium.
I didn't put anything there. I just put the strikes and let it pick up what it picked up. Yeah, I ended up getting
I requested,
$55.
I think I requested like 60 cents, and of course it was like,
Mhm.
it wasn't nowhere near there.
Yeah, I got $55 is what I got at, 650, and it was 353 when that trade picked up.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's a good
350.
point. So the last couple times you done this the third one. I'm
Mhm.
not tracking, but I just happened to.
It was the third one.
Um, and that's how my brain work. But curious, when you did it, are you putting in a premium or you just letting it take? That's a good point. Are you just letting it pick up for picking up sake? Because
Yep.
I know I put in like 60 cents. So if it
Yeah.
wasn't going to get to 60, of course it wasn't going to get to 60.
Yeah.
But and that's the other part of doing a trade. Let it pick up where it's literally at. That's how you can also ensure getting in,
Yeah.
or I didn't do that. So I'm curious, are you putting in a strike? Are you putting in a premium amount? Or are you just going just with the strike?
I just go with whatever it's there.
Gotcha. All right. All
Well,
right.
for two reasons. Because first of all, Robinhood is not going to give you great feels anyway.
Oh, this is
So I was
RH.
in
Okay.
Robinhood.
Okay.
So it's not going to give you great feels. I just put in what I want, and when Robinhood picked it up, and then
Got-
I was 7 minutes before the market was going to close. So
right. So
$55 for
right.
7 minutes.
That's fair. That's true. That's true. That's true. I
I'll
mean,
take
you can't be asking for $1 in
it.
the
You
last 5 minutes.
could,
No,
but
you're
you'd
right.
be
You're right. No, I got you.
risky.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah, you
I
could.
should have kept it like 45 cents as opposed to like 60, 70. But I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely looked at how price was rejecting off
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
the middle of this fair value gap. Remember we talked about the 50% thing before? 50% is kind of around in here. And when price was rejecting off of that,
Yeah.
I went beyond the fair value gap because even if it went all the way up, my thought was that it would continue in the
Back down.
direction it was going. So it didn't. It only went halfway or about halfway and then went on down some more.
Okay.
And then I was a little nervous though because I had closed off my 80, 85, but I think I had 70, 75 too. So I didn't want it to drop but so much because you ain't trying to have you be gone and then into something else. But it worked out.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
worked out.
Okay.
Did I put a link in? I think I did. Did I say? Yeah, I did. I want to make sure that I told the alerts community that I was on Zoom. But yeah, so that's what I've done that a few times, which I'm just using the fair value gap at the end of the day to see what kind of price action is there for, I guess you could call it like a little scalp because we're not there for a long time and it's literally just quick based on the fair value gap, hop in. That's why I didn't say anything on Friday because I just didn't want anybody following me on something that I'm still doing. I'm not that I guess I can say I'm figuring it out, just kind of seeing like, let's see if this works, if the fair value gap works for us at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice little trade, though. Nice little snipe there at the end of the day.
Yeah, it did its thing. It did what it was supposed to do. I only did one contract, so if it blows through, I didn't want to take anybody down the rabbit hole with me. But if it blew through, well, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, I was willing.
And
I
you
literally,
you did say that.
I had it, but again, I had it for a higher premium. So
Yeah.
that too probably didn't get me into the trade.
Yeah. But I like the fact, Janae, that you had you had the right strikes and that you were willing. I'm counting that a victory. I'm counting that victory.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
were ready.
Mm-hmm. All
Huh?
right. Sounds good.
Okay. So
have a
we'll
question.
continue to see about that.
Yeah, because you're using the fair value as a buffer.
Yes. Yes. I'm using to say if it goes through that it's probably going if it feels it's gonna feel and go on and it may just reject and keep going with what it's doing. But just in that short, just that end of day, let's see what's happening at the end of the day, you know?
But let's continue to analyze it because truth be told, if you go to the left,
Can I
um,
ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You when you getting in that later day, you definitely are getting in planning for it to expire worthless, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, just
Oh yeah.
clarifying. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah. Oh yeah. Because at 3:53, hey, I ain't got no time for
yeah, you
nothing.
ain't got time for no other side of
At
the
that
trade.
point, it's like, okay, this is
Yeah,
a
that's it.
lotto, a
Yeah.
Hail Mary, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely that at 3:53.
Now, don't get me wrong. I had a PDT hack fail in 3 minutes. But
Yeah,
I think
it
that was
could. I
too
think,
early.
and this one
It
would have. I
can.
think if you were here, but now Robinhood, you can't do PDT, but I think
True.
it could feel like that. But look here. I mean, this is Friday, right? And there's two fair value gaps here. So
Right.
even if you
That's
were
where I'm
looking
going. Yeah.
above this second one, if you were gonna go with 6,600, if you thought maybe it'll get through one and get to the next one, that would have been something to do. This fair value gap was created back at 3 o'clock. So because this one was created at 3 o'clock, you really could potentially use that as an earlier, this fair value gap here, this one here was created back at 3 o'clock. Well, between 3 and 3:15. So really, if you were feeling real froggy, you could have done 6,600, and that's looking real wonky.
Right. Oh, five. Yep.
6,605 with the thought that this fair value gap is going to provide your buffer for you. And doing it earlier like that would have given, that would have given you some different premiums. It would have given you 45 minutes of stress, but you would have had better premiums to be stressed with.
Did we cross 66 at the time?
No,
Oh
yes,
no.
we had been
Actually, well, no. So 6,600 was touched at 250. Is that what
at
that's saying?
250. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, 250, and then it pulled off of there. So if when this fair value gap got created, you could have used that as your guide to get in on top of that even then, if you wanted to be, if you were feeling froggy. Which we
Yeah.
kind of talked about doing that 6,600 call credit spread after it rejected at 6,600. Wasn't sure though if it wasn't going to try to turn around and go try again. But
Yeah, right. Because we were saying that Gamma
yes.
was definitely potent at the 6,600.
But
Not
it
so
didn't
much.
have, there was nothing past it. Remember, I told you
So that right, I was gonna say because
there was no
I think on
candles
Friday
past
we were
it.
saying that it equaled the 95 equaled the 6,000 or the
Mhm.
6,600, but
Yeah.
below that it really didn't have that, and that might have been that coupled with leaving the fair value says it ain't gonna go up. Interesting.
So I'm gonna go grab us so people can see what we're talking about
Okay.
with the Discord. I mean, with the
Gamma.
Magic 8 Ball Gamma, because the Gamma showed 65.95, but it
Yep.
didn't show any. There was no cloud
Bar
behind.
wasn't bigger than that. It
There
wasn't
was no
bigger than
cloud
after
after that.
6,000. Yep.
Yeah, wasn't
Okay.
nothing after that.
That
So
too. That too. There was no shadow. Yep.
there was no shadow paths beyond that. And sometimes, usually, when the price gets there, then you start seeing the shadow to the right start to pop up, but the shadow to the right
Right.
never
It was
did
clean.
come.
It
So you
was
can see even here when we're looking at this gamma chart, come on, give us big size. Um, all the ones you see here, 66. This is 6600 is the big candle. So this big candle, and we know that this candle can go, it can span from it can go from 6600, which is where the start, but it can go up to 6605. We've seen it go across the candle, and you're like, where you going? Where you going? So it can go up to 6605. It didn't in this case, but there's no more shadow. See, there's no call shadow back there. There is no shadow. And as we keep going down, this one here, price, this is 255. Prices in that 65, 90 something area. It's not quite the 6600 yet. I mean, it's past 6600. Nope, it's not. It's still in 65s because it never did get past 6600 except for a few pennies.
Right.
But see, there's no shadow to the right, no shadow to the right. It just never picked up enough steam, and then it pulled back, started going back to the left, going back to the left to put shadows a little bit there.
Right.
And then
So
this one
so the
here
call
at,
so the
what's this,
call actually worked
335?
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep. 335, you've got the 65.95 and 6600 are both equal. They're
Mm.
both equal candles, but that's as high as it went. And then later, I think we didn't even have the 6600 candle. This was a small one, 6600 candle went away, and 65.95 is the big candle. This is 350. So this lets you know that the day's about over, and that 6600, there was no more juice there. This would have been a good indication too. Wasn't going back up there, that because Gamma had let it go. Then that 355, we've got 65.95, but 6600, nothing. It's got a little cloud behind it, but the candle is much smaller now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do,
Yeah.
do
I
tho-
know.
each of those, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Each of these bars here represent strikes, a certain strike range.
So yeah, they're not, they're prices. Yeah. So this is the prices on, see where it says strike right here. These are the prices on SPX, right?
Okay.
What we do, this is the 6605. There's a line right here. It's kind of real light. When you look at it on your own screen, you can see it. But that's 6605. That means this is 6600 next to it, and this is 65.95. Okay. So this, as we looking during the day, we're looking to see where is the big candle from earlier in the day, because we can go back, up till in the morning, and we kind of watch this. Well, we don't we watch it all day to see what is the big, this is 2 o'clock on 9, that's Thursday. I don't went back too far. But we're looking to see what's the big candle on, like this is almost 12 o'clock right here. The big candle here is 6600. That big candle takes 600. So based on this, we can tell, well, you can speculate really that the price really wants to go to the high candle, and it wants to go there at 10. It's climbing to, even if it's taking its time getting there, it's trying to get to the big gamma, to the gamma candle, the big candle is trying to get there.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then so as the day, this chart comes out every 5 minutes though. So this is dynamic, and we're looking at it throughout the day and watching it populate to see what is price doing, and is this gamma changing? Because if the price starts falling, then this gamma, the green stuff starts going away, and the red gets bigger because price is going. Even on this chart, you can see that price happens to be in the red area. Prices in the red area, 65, 75, and 80 is probably going to be your stopping place, but you can't expect that it will always do that, because sometimes it'll slide past it. But there is a video, just before I explain all of gamma again, there's a video that in that sheet I gave you of how to read and use the gamma charts. There is a video that I taught, so that way you can check out what is actually being said by this information, because this is information
Absolutely.
that there's information in there to read and understand. Okay, we got that one, and the Gex bot stream, which is a little the information is put in a little different format, but it's still similar information. Okay. All righty. We use that as our guide. As our guide. Let me pull the launch pass. In case you want to be able to see them on your own, we see this information from inside of the Magic 8 Ball. Well, I didn't put the message out about sewing into Magic 8 Ball. If you benefited, I have to make sure I do that. But if you want to be able to see it for yourself all day long, and it includes Magic 8 Ball includes the SPX strike suggestions, which we don't take these pit and parcel all day. We partner these with times of days and the chart, and we kind of, it's a combination kind of thing. Then you've got your Gex here, you've got Gamma here. Yeah, there's a lot of information. A lot of it I don't use, but there's other things here for those who want to get deep into it. So that's Magic 8 Ball. But that's where we get our Gamma stuff from. And there's other places that get Gamma, but this is where I get ours from.
Gee, I noticed this thing, this is a subscription and something you gotta subscribe to, is that right?
It is. You can do it. He gives you a month for free, but it's $25 a month. So that's
After that, okay.
very inexpensive. But he gives you a month. They give you a month for free.
Got
Yep. $25 a month. This Gex to me is worth that. If it didn't have anything else, that would be worth $25. What other questions do we have about SPX before I show y'all a little something I happened upon today? Let me make sure I write my notes on what I covered today so I can put it in my in our video.
Oh, I didn't realize. So wait, 1540 is the reversal, is the failed breakdown.
Yep.
Granted, there were failed breakdowns throughout, but that's a I guess
Yep.
the way Strat lists it, that's a
That was a
confirmed
key
failed
one.
breakdown, whereas the
Mhm.
others are just breakdowns. Is what I'm
Yeah.
calling it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Power hour entry. Okay. So now that Janae has brought up failed breakdowns, I'm going to go to XSP. It can be used on SPX too. So, but I want to look at this on XSP because our XSP folks be feeling like, they don't get no love. And I'm XSP people too. Let's talk about the Strat. Okay, I'm going to give a little background information on the Strat, which will help us to understand. I'm going to lay some foundation so that way you can see what I'm talking about, right? The Strat has 3 candles. Okay, you've got 3 candles. You've got a 1 candle, which is a 1 candle is in between everything in the Strat is based on the previous candle, right? So this is a 1 because it's inside of the previous candle. It's completely inside. So this is an inside candle. The 1 is an inside candle. Now, I do have videos on Strat. So as you get information, I will go bring some more to the bottom. If you need more explanation, I'm going to explain it in a pretty good way. But if you need more, which many people probably will, we'll have videos. A 1 is an inside candle, which means it's inside of the previous candle. Okay, so that means it's the low, the high and the low are within the outer bounds of its previous candle. Right, that's a 1 candle. Right, then we have a 2 candle. You have a 2 up candle. I'm going to look over here. I'm going here. This is a 2 up candle, which means it broke out above its previous candle. It's higher than the previous candle, which makes it a 2 up candle. Okay, are we clear? 2 up. Then we have something called a 2 down candle. Notice a 2 up, you got an up arrow that helps you here. You got an up arrow and it's green, right? And you've got a 2 down candle. This is a 2 down candle. They're just twos, but I like the up and down too. It's a red arrow, let you know that this one went down. And what makes it a 2 down, this is a D, not a 20. What makes it a 2 down is it went below the low of its previous candle. So it broke the bounds of the lower bounds of the previous candle. Remember, every candle in the strat is based on how it interacts with its previous candle. And this goes on every time frame. It doesn't matter what time frame you're on. This convention is fractal, it's called. It goes on all the time frames, right? You on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15, the 1 hour, the 1 week, the 1 month, all of this, all these things carry over from time frames, okay? 2 up means it went up higher than its previous candle. 2 down means it went down lower than its previous candle. And a 3 candle, which this is the 3 candle here, 3 candle means it's higher than its previous candle and it's lower than its previous candle. That makes something a 3. It's called an outside candle. A 3 is an outside candle. All right. So we've got an inside candle, which is a 1, which means it's inside the top and the bottom of its previous candle. We've got a 2 up candle, a 2 down, 2 up meaning it was higher than its previous candle. 2 down means it was lower than its previous candle. And a 3 is an outside candle, means it was higher and lower than its previous candle. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's all you got to remember with the strat is 1s, 2s, and 3s. 1s, 2s, and 3s. That's all the strat has. Inside, 2 up, 2 down, outside. Okay. Question so far? Okay. We're cool on that. Great, great. So the strat has what's called actionable signals. Actionable signal. So we got the word actionable, which means it's the signal that would cause us to take action. Actionable signals. One actionable signal is the break of the 1. The break of the 1 to the upside or the downside. A 1 candle is like an indecision candle. That's why it's inside. It's like, which way we going? Which way we going? Which way we going? Okay, we're still looking at this inside candle right here. So you got the top and the bottom of this candle. The first actionable signal is the break of this candle. Somebody's drawing on my screen. Is the break of this candle. So here we go. If it breaks to the upside, the entry is that you would go, and this one does. Okay, let's look at this one here. This is a 3 candle. It actually breaks. This actually is a 3 and breaks in both directions, but we have a hammer. It breaks going to the upside. It actually opened, dropped down, and then went on up itself. Breaks to the upside. That's an actionable signal saying that, okay, the 1 candle has broken in the upwards moving direction. And for us, if we're going in the upwards bullish direction, we would then enter a put credit spread or enter put credit spreads, right? Because we're believing it's going up with that actionable signal. Once you get the break of the, the break of the 1 candle to the upside, you've got put credit spreads that you would ride with. If it was to break to the downside, right, then we would do call credit spreads. In this case, the 3 was barely, and then it recovered quickly and went on back up. Notice, riding to the upside, the next day, we're even higher than that. We're going up, we're going up, okay? Same thing, okay, that was the 1. Let's see if I see another 1 candle. This is a 1 and a 3. I kind of want, oh, here we go. Go all the way to the left over here with me, where we have a 1 candle over here, I'm at the bottom on the 21st, one candle. It broke, this next candle broke above the top of the one candle with the two up, which means we could have entered put credit spreads going up along with this ride. Now, the good thing about the strat is the strat gives you actionable entries, and it does provide you with stop losses. The strat also says, okay, if you're entering based on this red candle right here, and you believe it's going to keep going up, if the price comes back down to the bottom of your entry candle, which would be here, if it comes back to the bottom of your entry candle, this is your stop loss. So for us, we could say that's our stop loss, and that's where we would select our strikes. So just below that is where we would select our strikes for our sell leg if we were doing a put credit spread. And if it comes back down to this point, we would exit the trade, because that would show that it's not doing what you thought it was going to do. You would want to keep going. All right. One
Now you
candle.
said,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt your
Oh, you're
flow.
right.
You said your stop is the sell leg. Wouldn't the stop be my buy leg, the further strike?
So the stop, kind of the way we've been doing the stop is when it could be either. Okay, it could be either.
Okay,
We
okay.
do have some of us that if your sale leg is breached, then you cut it off, and some of us have a management plan that if both legs are breached, then
Got
we
you.
close it. So it's really, that's a personal, Avery, that would be a personal choice.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely a personal choice. I would think it would be good to set your strike, if you were determining your strike, to set your strike below this point, to say, okay, well, the bottom of this candle, the low of this candle is 635.27. So I would go with I would pick my strikes at 634, 635. I would go below the low of the one candle, 634, 635 as your PCS, and use that as your trade. And if you had your 635 breach, that would be below the low of this one candle. That would let you know that it's not doing what it was supposed to be doing, right? Because the low of this candle is 635.21.
Got you. So in this case, the 635 is your sell leg and the 34 is your buy leg.
Right. 634 is your buy leg. All right. So there's that. Okay. That would be that's one actionable signal. A break of a one, the break of the one to the upside or downside is an actionable signal. Okay. If it breaks up, you ride with it. You will put credit spread. If it was to break down, you could go with a call credit spread. But I'm saying that, but you also want to kind of go with the overall trend potentially of the week. So you want to keep in time frame continuity with the week. So if you're trading for the day, though, you might want to see what's the week doing. Or if you're getting in some time of day, you want to see what is the day doing. If the day is green, you might not want to be in call credit spreads on a green day. We are notorious for doing this. So y'all don't crucify me, because we'll be on a green day and be looking at call credit spreads because the premiums are good. But if it's a green day, we probably should just stay with put credit spreads. But that sounds good, except for when we're in there and you're like, I see call credit spread money, I'm going to get it. Yeah, I know. I already know. Okay. So the break of the one candle is your first actionable signal, right? Okay. Another actionable signal is what we like, which is reversals. We do like a 2-2 reversal. Where's my pencil? A 2-2 reversal. Where'd you go? I got my mouse is hiding somewhere. I don't know where it went. Come on, mousey. Oh, it's over toward the edge. I see it marking over there. Oh, where are you at? Lord. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to give me the mouse back. I don't know where the mouse is. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Okay. A 2-2 reversal. 2-2 reversal would be something like these. We had twos. This was a 2 up. Once we get a reversal going in the opposite direction, of course, you want, if you're patient like we should be, we want to see a break of the low of the 2 in order for this to be your entry place with a call credit spread. Now, there are thoughts that the 50% mark is sufficient, that if you get halfway, if you get past the halfway point of the first candle, then it's most likely going to continue in that direction. I'm for that, of course, because y'all know I can be a little risky. So I'm with that notion, but you really should wait till it clears the bottom or the outer edge of that. And then you would enter your call credit spread. Now, I'm talking about these things for 0 DTEs and potentially for 1 DTEs that you would enter today with tomorrow's expiration. That way you are working with actionable signals, not just what we think is going to happen, but like in this case, it's a 2-2 reversal. Once it reverses, you say, okay, I can do a call credit spread now with the next day's expiration, and then whatever call credit spread you're going to do is going to be up here because you're going beyond the top of the entry candle, and this price didn't get anywhere near that. Okay, that's another kind of level of conversation, but it could be just for the day. Even if you went with a call credit spread up here for the same day and it closed down here, if it closed at the bottom here, you still are profitable on today, which is why I like it for XSP, because we got our 0 DTEs. The only problem you're going to run into, of course, with XSP is if you wait too late in the day, the premiums may dry up. But if you get today, you got confirmation and you enter for tomorrow, you're going to get better premiums. Okay.
I
That's the second.
struggled. My
Go ahead. I'm
fault.
listening.
I'm
Go
messing
ahead.
up the
I'm
flow
listening.
one more time.
No, you're doing
I'm
fine.
struggling to find the indicator for the strap in Trading View. What's the title of that indicator?
It's called Strat Assistant. The Strat Assistant. STRAT. Assistant. Yep. Strat Assistant. Once
There
you
it
put
is.
it in, it should be the first one. And once you have it, I'm going to tell you to change those, there's one thing in here you're going to want to change. Once you have it, pick style here, and then this where it says bar color right in the middle of the page. Uncheck this bar color.
Okay.
Okay, uncheck that bar color, because otherwise it'll give you the colors that go with the numbers, and that was confusing to me. I needed red and green, or orange and green in my case. These other colors didn't work for me.
Let me see if I got it.
Yeah, where it
So
says bar color.
yes, I think I'm with. I see numbers now
Okay.
and arrows. Yep, I'm with you.
All right, cool. Anybody else got a question about the indicator? That's the only thing I changed, was that I left everything else. But you can also go through and uncheck some of these signals if you don't want to see all the things that pop up when the signal is, hot. But I left all of those. I left all of those checked. Oh yeah, now we all for a good iron condor now. Yeah, we used to not. Yeah, we used to be a little scared of iron condors. Now, if I can get a few more dollars off my iron condor, count me in. Off my money, count me in. Okay, so actionable signal 1 was the break of the 1. That was the first actionable signal. I'll make sure that I put this in some writing so that way we have something to look at. Actionable signal number 2 is a reversal, a 2-2 reversal, which can go either way. The 2-2 reversal can be, it was down, it was a 2 down in this case. We've got here, which this is one we've talked about a little bit, a lot of it. This is a 2 down candle. This one here, because we've got a down, red, and the number is red, which that's what you got, an arrow, red, a 2-2 reversal. But since this is a green candle with a red 2, this is called a failed 2 down. This goes with, if we look at Adam, and Adam talks about failed breakdowns, that he only trades failed breakdowns. Hey honey, welcome home. He only trades failed breakdowns. So this is what you would call a failed breakdown. Once you've got this green candle with a red 2, this is and it's also a hammer. Y'all see how this looked like a hammer? That's a notion of that signals something going upwards. That signals upwards motion, right? So you could use this as another actionable signal to say, okay, I can go in and get me a put credit spread. It's supposed to be a S. I can get me a put credit spread below the bottom of that candle, or the halfway point. Again, if you're feeling a little more froggy, you can go with the halfway point as well. Okay. The break of the 1 is an actionable signal. A 2-2 reversal, 2-2 bearish reversal, a 2-2 bullish reversal, or this failed 2 down, failed 2 up is also 1. But those are 3. Now there's another one, but I don't want everybody to be confused. That's too many. That's enough actionable signals at this point.
Excuse me, Alyssa.
Yep.
Hi, it's Carla.
Hello, Carla.
Hi. You said to unhook which color in the inputs?
Unclick where it says bar color. So it's on the style page.
Oh, okay. So everything on the inputs is the 0.75 and those colors are fine.
Yeah, I left all that stuff the same. I didn't bother any of that. Only this right here, previous week high lines active. That was never checked, so I never checked that. But probably might be good to have it checked. I never checked it. And then on the style page, I unclicked the bar color because I didn't want it to have all those colors, all the bright colors. I just wanted red, and I just wanted red and
So
green.
that's the one that's like 5 or 6 down. Just unclick that.
Yep,
one?
exactly. It's like 5 or 6 down. Right under 3 bar, the next one says bar color.
Yep.
Yep, I
And
unclicked
everything else can stay the same?
I left everything else the same.
Okay.
Yep, I left everything else the same. Some of those probably can be unclicked if you get more knowledge about the strat, but I left all mine clicked.
Okay.
It was okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping me to ask. Okay, so now why I'm bringing all this up to say, how would we use this, right? We're on the daily chart right now. How would we use this? We would use this to say, okay, so let's say we're here. Like, let's say I'm at the end of this chart right here. I'm over here at the right. And this was our last candle. Let's say this was our last candle over here. Let's say that was Friday. And we're ready to trade on Monday. Well, this is an actionable signal, right? So the actionable signal says if price is above 641, once it's above the top of this 641.55 or whatever number that is, we can enter put credit spreads because the thought is this should continue going upwards. Once price passes 641.55, we can enter put credit spreads with the thought that it will keep going up. Right, so we can use this. We, of course, like to wait during the day to see what the 15-minute and the what those things tell us or whatever. But this gives us, for me, I feel like it gives us even the potential for an maybe earlier entry, depending on how price does, could give you the potential for an earlier entry, and it gives you a place to go look for strikes. So I'm gonna even look at this one here, this one candle right here. I'm on the 21st. Let's look at that one. All right, so we're on the 21st. As soon as we got the one candle that says, okay, on a one candle, we needed to see whether it's going to break out of the top or is it going to break out of the bottom. Okay, we got the top of this candle, we got the bottom of this candle. And on a one candle, it can go either way. You're like, okay, if it breaks out to the top, we ride that way. If it breaks to the bottom, we going that way. In this case, it broke to the top. So the top of this one candle here is, the high of this candle is 639.37. Okay, the top of this candle is 639.37. 639.37. So we can say, okay, as soon as price crosses 639.37, which it crossed it pretty early. You can see we opened right at 638 and it crossed it. Soon as it crossed 639.37, we can go ahead with our put credit spread. And our put credit spread strikes then would be the bottom, could be the bottom or the low of that same candle. What is our low of that candle? The low of this candle is 635.27. So we would then go that 634, 635 could be our strike. 634, 635. Again, unless you're feeling a little more froggy, and you could go with the halfway point of this, which would have put you even closer, the halfway part. I wouldn't encourage you to do that, but you could have in this case, because it kept going it kept on going on that own direction, right? The range was about 2.5, so about one up, this is about 637. You could have went with 636, 637. Got really good premiums because you would have been much closer and then just rode it on up for the day. We have other, we have methods of entry that we use. Many times we're concerned about whether price is going to turn back to us, or we're going to be da. But if we're using the strat is going to give us an entry place. Number one, we're going to get entry. It tells us once price passes 639.37, you're clear. You got clear entry for upwards movement. It gives us a place to pick the strikes and a stop loss. Says, okay, our strikes are 634, 635. You're going to go below this. And if it comes back down to that place, then that's our stop loss. We're free to exit the trade because it didn't follow the convention of what the strat would say it should do. And even if you did a 1 DTE, if you didn't do it for that same day, you could have done it for the next day. Your trade still would have been fine because the price never came back down here. Right? I'm looking at it for 0 DTE as well as thinking about 1 DTE. Or even if you enter it for 1 D, because y'all know we can use PDT hack to close up a trade today that we open for tomorrow, but different conversation. I don't want to get too deep into that. Who's got a
Just to
question?
just to review, you gave us three actionable items. You said the break of the one,
Mm-hmm.
and then the two reversal,
Mm-hmm.
and then the third one,
Was
a
the failed
failed
2 down. Failed 2
two down.
down.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Failed 2 down. Let me see where I had one over here. Where'd it go? Oh, hey, you doing? This is a failed 2 down. It's here. I was also looking for a 2-2 reversal that would have been upside reversal. Red, then green reversal, which this one, here's one. Okay, because it can use a failed 2 breakdown or the 2-2 reversal like this one. This is a bullish reversal. So this was 2 down. This was a 2 down. And then, well, it was red. And then it went back up on the next day.
Alyssa, can I ask one more
So,
question? Oh, sorry.
Yep.
No, go
no,
ahead,
you
sir.
go
I'll let you
ahead.
do.
No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. You
Carla, go
got it.
ahead.
If you're doing 0 DTE or 1 DTE, I tend to do a 1 DTE. I would prefer 0, but
Yeah.
With that being said, are you ever using previous candles for any type of confirmation?
If you're gonna just go with the strat, of course, we put on things like our we do this, we put on our VWAP and our moving averages. So you're using your confluences as well. But so
Right.
you're looking for your actionable signals on the strat and look and confirming that with your confluences.
Okay.
That would be my suggestion to make sure that you got, comfortable confirmation, especially if you're trying to put on some size.
Okay.
Yeah. Avery, what was your question?
Yeah, that area that you had circled did not look like a reversal to me. That looked like a failed two down, right? Because it's two up, but it's red.
Yeah, it's too bad. So it's really a failed. It's right. This would be one, honestly, it would be a failed two up, which really should lead you to do this right here. But I think when I read the reason I said that was it was a red candle. It was a red candle. And then the next one ended up going beyond the top of this two.
Oh,
So
I
you
see.
got beyond the top of that two, this was a reversal.
Okay, got you.
Mhm. Yep. So again, just another way for us to look at what could we use as 0 DTE, 1 DTE. Now this could happen. I picked it on the XSP, but let's go look on SPX. Don't want my XSP people thinking I just be, leaving them hanging. I know they feel that way sometimes, don't y'all? Y'all don't have to say. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
I know I know there's some feelings out there, Jack. You'll never put up in there for us. So yeah, we're looking though at the same thing I just talked about. Those same actionable signals would be useful for SPX. Like for example, we've got this one here, which would be a 2-2 reversal. It's a 2-2 reversal. Once this candle got past the bottom there, and I need another color now because I got so many red lines on there that I can't see. We can't see those. Come on, I need to change the color. Need to change the color.
What date are you looking at?
I'm looking at the 28th of, looks like August. I'll move us into September, see what we see that's more recent. There's that, this was the 1 and the 3 break, broke to the up. This 1-3 could kind of get you caught because the 1, it broke down first, but then it recovered. It gapped down for the open and then recovered. So you wouldn't have necessarily jumped on a call credit spread on that anyway, not before you got some good confirmation that it really was going down.
So what would your entry be after the break of the three, the red three? Is it what is that red gonna be called?
So now this 3, I'm glad you're asking this, but the 3-2 is also an actionable signal. I didn't go into that one too, but the 3-2 is also an actionable signal. Once the 3 breaks, in this case, it went to the upside. That's also an actionable signal going upwards, or it could be 3 and 2 down. That could be an actionable. I was just sticking with only a couple of them, but the 3 is also, I have a few of them. I'll make sure I put the little blurb into our chat so you can see. There's 3 or 4. Really, the reversals are there. The 2-2 reversals, the 1s, and yeah, that's about it. 2-2 reversals and the 3-1-2s, and then the 3-2s. There's some continuations also. I don't really, you could do the continuations, but like this is a 3-2-2 continuation. Once this next one broke the 2, you could go with that. But you see, this end up being a reversal after the next day. So you're not as confident there to go a 1 DTE. This is kind of like you needed to just do 0 DTE on that one.
And then my chart looks a little different than yours. I have a green flag and it says 222 bullish continuation. And then I have, it says daily, it's down red. Weekly, monthly, and quarterly are all green up on my chart.
So
Excuse me.
now I'm at current time. You're on the current, like this week.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's this week. That was August I was looking at. This is this week. Or
So is this sort of trying to tell us on a daily? Because I mean, weekly, monthly, and quarterly say green or
weekly, monthly,
bullish.
and quarterly. We are, I mean, we are, for the purposes, we are bullish. Right? We've been on a move. The daily though ended with the red. So now our actionable signal, okay, we just talked, what will be our actionable signal coming out of this too?
Maybe a 2 up or a
It would
3.
have to break above this here or
Break the
break
low.
below the bottom. It either break above it or break below it as far as that goes.
But what number should it be?
It could be any of those numbers.
Okay.
It could be any number. A 1 could be in here. You can have an inside day, which basically means that price stays inside of the
In a
2.
range.
You could
Okay.
have that, yep, in a range. You could have, you could do a 2 up. It could go 2 up. It says, okay, well, we kind of still want to poke up a bit. Maybe, does it stay up there? Don't really know, but it could do a poke up, right? Could be a 2 up. You could have that. It could reverse back and you see could have a 2 down, which is why you wait, because even though you're sitting what's called actionable, even though you got an actionable signal, you're waiting for the trigger.
Right.
Trigger has to be the break of the top or the break of the bottom. You don't know what's going to happen next. Really, you wait to see what happens next, and then you make your move based on what happens next.
Now I have another question. If you are, let's say we're doing a 0 DTE, we're on the
Yeah.
last half of the day.
Yeah.
And this we would be on a smaller time frame though, right?
Yep. Yep. But you also would have your levels marked. So in the case here, we would have 6,600 marked as a
Right.
break of 66 going to the top, or a break of the low is 65.79. So we would say, okay, a break of 6,600 or 65.79. A break of one of these is what is going to tell us, is going to give us indication on what's next. Either it breaks to the up above 6,600 or it breaks below 65.79, and then you act accordingly based on what it does. We could also
Okay,
have
that
a
makes
3.
sense.
You could also have a 3 candle. A 3 candle could be, it opens up and it drops
Can I
below.
use your phone to tell Larry I'm on a call? Oh, I'm
You
sorry
can,
if I'm not on mute. Wait a minute.
yeah, you can drop, it can open up and drop below. Maybe it drops below here and then price recovers and it runs back up and it still goes above here. Then that becomes a 3 candle. Maybe it becomes outside because it goes lower than the low and then it runs right back up and goes higher than the high. Then you got a 3 candle.
Okay, that makes sense.
So really, the thing is, you take your actionable signal and then say, okay, based on this actionable signal, this is what it could do next. And when it does whatever this is next, what am I going to do? What am I going to do once it does the next thing? Okay. Who's got a question? Trying to see what, okay, this is a good example, okay? This is IWM and we're on the daily chart. And we got a 1 candle. What we doing, Cletus? What we doing?
Call credit spread. It's a reversal.
You
2-1
believe it's a
reverse.
reversal? Okay, we on a 1 candle. What does a 1 candle mean?
That looks
You
like
gotta
a
wait for a
doji.
break.
Yeah, 1 candle means it's an inside candle. We gotta wait for
Oh,
a break.
that's a doji, yeah.
Yep. So we're waiting to see, does it break to the upside or does it break
Oh, so
to
when
the
the one
downside?
appears, you have
So
to
the top
wait
side
for
of,
the break.
yes, you have to
Oh,
wait for the break. To the upside or
Doji.
downside, because a 1 means indecision and you don't know which way it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
1 is indecision. This candle has a high of 240.32. Okay, so we got a high. Come on, give my pencil back. 240.32 is our high. And our low, oh, that's supposed to be a 2. Went wild. And our low is 238.20. Okay, the low is 238.20. So now on a 1 candle, we're looking to see, are we going to break to the upside? Are we going to break out at the top? Are we going to break out at the bottom? And based on what happens, that's when you make your move. Now, price closed at 238.34, so it's very close to 238.20. Could it pop on down here? Yep. Could it move on and do its thing? Yeah. But let's look. What is the candle for the week?
Red.
Red. A red what though?
Um,
that's a doji.
It's a doji, but it's a 2 up, right?
Oh,
yeah, it's a 2 up, yeah.
This is really what's
Uh,
called a failed
oh,
2
I
up.
was going.
Yep, this is a failed 2 up. How is that? Well, it went up above here, which up would usually mean green, but it closed red. This is a failed 2 up, and a failed 2 up is a bearish signal
What
generally.
time frame are you looking at now?
This
Weekly?
is the weekly chart. I jumped to the weekly to tell you that the weekly chart is a failed 2 up, which is a bearish signal for IWM. So the reason you look at the weekly though is to say, what's the trend? That was last week, of course, not this week because we're on another week, but the trend for last week was a failed 2 up, which means that's a bearish signal. Now that you say, okay, the week is showing red, showing bearish. When we start to trade then on the daily, we're then saying, is this going to continue in this fashion? Because the weekly says we're red.
Right.
So your expectation would potentially be that it would continue downward and break out the downside of this 1 candle. It would break out to the downside. But you'd have to wait to see.
So we're marking where? Wick to wick?
Yes, you mark the top and the bottom, wick to wick.
Okay.
The top of it, how far did price go up? How far did price go down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actionable signal then being if it breaks out this way, you would potentially do a call credit spread to go on back down with it. But you see, we have things here though. We also have a support at 236. So this is not like in the absence of the other things. Oh, let me tell you, I left one thing off. We talked about our entries. We talked about our stops. another thing that the strat gives you is it gives you a target. It gives you a where will price go to? Where did your expectation for price to go? Okay. Can you see this? Can y'all see this dotted line right here? It's just below 236 for it's the bottom of this green candle. There's a dotted line here.
Are you back on the daily?
I'm on the daily time frame, yes.
Okay, dotted line. I do see the dotted line, yes.
The
Yeah.
dotted line is your target. That's the price target. That's the place where price will seek to go according to the strat. So your entry would have been the bottom of this candle here would have been your entry, right? And we already said our stop loss would be up here at the top of this same entry candle. Our target, or where is price going to go, would be down to the tip of that the next highest candle is where your target, in this case, its lowest is the target.
The 236?
236. Yeah, 236 and some change. It's 236 and some change. Right? It's 236.25, looks like. The bottom of this green candle, the low of this green candle is 236.24. That is your target. 236.24. There would be your target. Now, this works for, it does work for buyers and sellers. There are people who say, okay, entry was at the 238.20 with puts going down to 236.24. That's your target. There are people who use it for both. Okay, I don't teach buying, but this strat can be used. It's mostly used for buying, but it works just as well for selling because the expectation is it won't go back to the 240 area. So if you got yourself a 240, 241 call credit spread with a target of 236, when it gets down in that area, as long as your strike is fine, you close your trade, collect your monies, or keep your monies.
Okay. I look down to the 30-minute and it just looks like it's basing. Just it did I gotta write down the names that you call these things. I'll go back over the video, but it did the large candle down. Now I wonder what the zero means.
What zero?
Under the 30 minutes, it has a zero.
Under the 30 minutes.
Under the hour, it has an up arrow, but it's a zero there.
Where? I don't see a zero. Where do you see a zero?
When I went to the 30-minute, and maybe I got something clicked, I've got the green arrows, 30-minute, hour, and 4-hour, but I've got a purple zero over the 30-minute, nothing over the hour, and IN over the 4-hour. Then on the daily.
Oh, you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what that zero means. That's something to do with the indicator.
Okay.
I think the N made me enforce because that some of the terminology for the when that particular time frame is enforced basically means you could make your move. Zero may mean hold on, because on the 30-minute chart you don't have an actionable signal. You had a signal. Well, of course, we're talking about the post market, but you would have had a signal outside of this one, but there's nothing on the 3. So this is why the 30-minute is not an actionable signal. It was when we were on this candle, this one candle, but you're not on this 3 candle. That may be why it has a zero there. Okay. All righty. So actionable signals. Let's review. Let me put me a text box up here so that way we can see what is our actionable signals. Actionable signals. What did we say they were? Come on, class.
You got the failed two up or failed two up or failed two down. I kind of put that at one.
Mm-hmm.
You got the one breakout.
To the break up or down. Okay, I'm gonna say break of the one candle. Break
Yeah, break of the one.
of one candle up or down. And then the other one was
A
two,
reversal, two
two
reversal.
reversal. Mm-hmm. Two reversal, or yeah, two reversal, or 3-2 reversal, because it can do the reversal can happen with a 3-2 or a 2-2. Remember, actionable, you have your actionable signal on one, your actionable on one candle. Then you say, okay, now that I have an actionable signal, the next candle is where you take your action. Okay, seeing that we're here. Okay, another one, 30-minute, we're on a 30-minute chart. We're either going to break to the upside or to the downside. Now, if you're doing something if you're trading SPX and you're trading it for the day, all right, so you're looking at, you want to get into SPX for the day. Don't use a 15-minute actionable signal at 10 o'clock to ride you all day long. That time, the time frames don't match.
Right.
Right? Don't do that. You're going to need a higher time frame. You need a 1 hour or a 2 hour actionable signal, something bigger that's going to carry you all day. A 15 minutes is going to hold you maybe 3 time frames. A 15-minute time is probably going to hold you an hour and a half or 2 hours. That's not what we want to do. So if you're trying to trade SPX for the day, you need a 1 hour or a 2 hour time frame, depending on what time of day you're getting in. If you're
But
getting
we
into SPX in the morning, wait a minute, if you're
right.
getting in the morning for the entire day, then you're going to want at least a 2 hour time frame to look at to make sure you're on a good actionable signal. We got other things, of course. But if you're at like 2 o'clock, if you're at 2 o'clock and you're on a 15 or 30-minute chart and you see an actionable signal and you're going to use that for just the rest of those last 2 hours, that may be fine. What I'm saying is don't get like 9:30 in the morning, you see an actionable signal on the 15-minute and then you enter thinking you're going to ride for 6 hours. That a 15-minute actionable signal may not hold you that long. All right? A 2 hour actionable signal may hold you long enough for that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, somebody was getting ready to ask a question. What was it?
I was just going to ask you though, but initially you want to still look at your larger time frames, mark
Yes,
those, and
yes,
then work within the
yes,
parameters of, okay.
yes, yes. You want to look at your weekly, day. Let's start with daily. You want to look at your daily time frame, seeing what that signal, see if you got a signal there. And then once you've got that daily, you can step down to another time frame, maybe the hourly or 2 hour, and see when can you take your entry, because you're looking for the break of a certain number. So, and the good thing about selling is we don't have to be super strategic as far as, as far as timing. When you're a seller, you don't have to be so strategic with the timing. As soon as it breaks, you don't have to jump right away. We got a little room in there for us, right? But you want it to break the price before you go rushing in, especially if especially talking about SPX, because we already know SPX can be wild.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know SPX can be wild, right? Yes. And we still want to use all of our same stuff. Your PDT hack, use your VWAP. We're looking at gamma. I mean, we're not throwing away our other stuff. This is not a replacement plan. This is if I'm looking at this and I want something that's going to give me confirmation or something that maybe lets me know I can look at something that's a little more longer dated. If I look on the daily, I see an actionable signal. I see tomorrow, if it was, actionable going up and the price shows me that it's really still going up, I can do put credit spreads and ride that for the rest of the day. Right? That's kind of the thought with that. Okay, now I know this is a little new because many of us haven't learned Strat, haven't talked Strat, but I wanted to share with you. We've talked about it enough to I think we've seen the ones and twos and threes, but I've broken it down a little further as to what they actually mean and how we can use them. Because that's really what we're after is, okay, I don't really care if you got one, twos, and threes on your chart, but how can it benefit me? How can I use them to make money? Right? Here we go on the 15-minute. Go ahead with your raised hand. I see it. Go ahead. I think my hand is raised, which it doesn't make any sense how my hand got raised. Marcia, you got your hand is up.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do those of us who use the 30-minute or the 15-minute breakout, can we still use the Strat and not with the expectation of riding all day,
Yes, ma'am.
but getting out like
Yep.
within a couple of hours
Yep.
at the most?
Yep. Yep. You
So
sure can.
would we start with the 15-minute and just stay on it, or?
Okay, let's go look. Let's go look at our 15-minute chart. So when we would have looked at, we've looked at this day, we would have wanted to look at the day to see what does the day hold for us. And then once we've got our break off of this, then we would say, okay, where are we going? Now, Friday, I don't know if Friday would have been the best day because Friday was an ugly, choppy day. Friday was an ugly, choppy day. But we did have, here's a failed 2 down, but this didn't really chop out very well. Here's a 2. We got a couple of actionable signals we could have worked with. So let's say this one here. We've got a 1 candle right here. This is 11 o'clock. Once it broke out of this 11 o'clock going down, you could have gotten some of that. This rolled all the way down to here. Right? Set your PDT hack and make sure you close it. But then this is a failed 2 down. So it's a reversal, failed 2 down. So now we needed to go, this trade right here needed to be closed up if you were in this one, because even though it would have ended fine because price went back up there and came back, but failed 2 down means now we're going with put credit spreads going on back up here. And then you would, of course, use your PDT hack because we lock every trade around these parts. And then it hit another one. And once it blew out of that, it went back down. So yeah, we got 3 good actionable signals. There's a few others, but 3 good reversal actionable signals that would have worked for us during the day on Friday.
Okay. I like this. Okay, thanks.
So the PDT hack, I have been neglectful and not studied it. That's inside of the. I'm sorry, I'm so embarrassed to say.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know. I've been a terrible student. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to come back like I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
So that's inside of the membership.
Yeah, I can bring a video down for you if you want.
Okay, yes, please.
But basically what the PDT hack is you set your trade and you're going to set an opposite trade that is going to lock in those profits. So that way you're not hoping your trade holds all day. Many of them will hold all day, but if you lock it up, you ain't got to worry about it.
So like a so tip of my tongue. Not a vertical, but What's the others? On tip
They
of my
are
tongue.
verticals. Mm-hmm.
Right, but what is it called when you've got the
A
both
box
sets? Huh?
when you
Box
got one.
strike.
Well, I mean, because I normally do these, but I don't know that it's a PDT hack because I do a one uh DTE on most of them.
Well, if it can hold to the next day, then you don't have to worry about it. The
Right.
PPT is
Yeah. So
only
I
for the
usually
same day.
don't have a problem
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
I don't, and what do you think of this? I don't use a stop when I do a one DTE.
Okay.
I just make up my mind. This is it.
I think that's fine. That's definitely a personal choice. Yeah, I think it's fine. As long as you're cool with what it's doing and you've got some, reasoning behind your entry. Yeah.
No, not the wheel, babe. Not the wheel.
But
Thank
yeah,
you. Huh?
if you're holding it overnight, you don't need the PDT hack. PDT hack is when you're doing zero DTE and you want to close that trade today without using a day trade.
Right.
Hmm. But if you do one DTE, then you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. I
Okay.
mean, but sometimes you need to get out, but I guess
True.
if it's not more than three times or four
Yeah.
times in the week, then you
Three
still
times
should
in a
be.
5-day window. That's true. You can use them. They're not, they're able to be used. You just got to be careful. Don't
Yeah.
be like me and be using two of them at one in the same day, and then you'd be like, shucks, got one more, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up I can't believe I got a brain fart. It's not a strangle.
Iron Condor?
Yes. Honey, my husband's sitting here too. I'm sorry.
No, he's all right. He can join the call. That's fine.
Listen, he be trading too.
Yeah, yeah. The Iron Condor. So the Iron Condors are fine as long as the whole point is that you don't want your strikes to get breached in that window. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but we always good. We love a good Iron Condor around these parts.
Yeah. But I thought you were saying that you start off, let's say, with a call credit spread
Yes.
and then it goes against you. I thought you were saying you're adding the other leg like that. But
Mm-mm.
that's not what that is.
No, I'm
That's
saying
not what the
it,
PDT hack is.
right. No, the PDT hack is, for example, I got a call credit spread, let's say right here, and I got 65, 95, 6,600. Let's say I did that trade. So as a call credit spread, so that would be trade one, right? The
Mm-hmm.
PDT hack is I'm gonna do those same strikes, but I'm gonna do a put credit spread with those exact same strikes, right? And I'm
All
going
with
to
those exact same strikes.
exact same strikes. So let's say in the first one, I took in a dollar. I took in a
Mm-hmm.
dollar for that, which means the max loss here is $4, right? So
Mm-hmm.
on the next one, let's say put credit spread, I decide I'm going to put in 450 is what I'm putting into that limit box. Okay. Now that I've done this, that means I have now locking in $50 of profit per contract.
Okay. Okay, I
That's
got
the
it.
PDT hack.
I did not realize it was the same exact strike.
Yes, exact same strikes.
Okay, that might be nice.
That way you lock in your profits and or loss, because sometimes if the trade goes against you,
Gone
you
too far,
get
yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
And you can get some of your buying power back and not use a day trade, and you can keep trading on through the day.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Sure. Okay. So we see on the 15-minute that they're even, like I told you, that the time frames for the strat are what's called fractal. Basically, they travel with you no matter what time frame you're on. You just got to keep in mind, if you're on a 15-minute chart, then we're talking about a 15-minute, 2-hour window of time. You're not talking about I'm getting in at a 15-minute, failed two back here that's going to hold me all day. Because you see here, this is a failed two, which maybe you would have done a put credit spread if you were just thinking about it from a 15-minute standpoint. But by the time this whole day go by, that trade been busted, because that's a long time for a 15-minute chart, 15-minute actionable signal to work. But if you were on a 1 hour time frame, you're like, okay, I'm on a 1 hour time frame, which this would be the failed 2 down on the 1 hour time frame. This would have been the failed 2 down, but with this, you would have gotten a trade underneath the bottom of this as a put credit spread, and that would have held you. You could have either put your PDT hack on, or even if it went to expiration, it expired right here. So your trade still would have been fine if you got your put credit spread below the low of your entry candle.
Is there a certain time frame that you have to put the hack in? Can it be an hour into the trade? And
You can put the hack in immediately. You just want to think about how much money you want as far as your
yeah,
profit goes. But you can put the hack in. Many people do it immediately and then just watch, because I try to get as much as I possibly can out of my hack. But sometimes I'm like, I'll just take my $50 and be done. Or some
yeah,
people, there's Valerie, they do, I think Valerie and TJ do $35 and they're finished. I think Curtis does 25 or 30. He does a lot of contracts. So you $25 a movement, he's finished and out and on to the next set of trades. Okay, so
okay.
it really comes down to what do you want out of it? If you want, $25, $30, you want to do a lot of contracts and just make it quick, then yes. If you're trying to get in and you ride in all the way to 495, you need to give it a couple hours most likely, because it's going to take longer for price to get where you want it to go. So it's kind of how much time you want to put into it. What do you want out of it from a profit standpoint? That's going to determine what amount you put in for that second trade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
Hey,
you can wait and do the PDT in the second trade, or you can put it in immediately.
Mm-hmm.
hey, Coach, how you doing? It's TJ. How you doing
Hi,
today?
TJ. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Can you go back to the 15-minute? It went
Yep.
over my head real quick
Okay. No problem.
because
Cool.
the 15 minute is my baby daddy,
Yeah, I
and
know. We like the 15. Me too. Janae be on the 5, but we like
girl,
the
I
15.
know Janae and her 5 minute. Uh, real quick though, you were saying you were saying that if I got in, just kind of repeat what you just said. It went over my head. You
Okay.
were saying if I would have lost this trade if I got
What
in.
I was saying was, if you were looking at, let's say you were looking at this failed 2 down right here. If you said, okay, I'm based on this failed 2 down, I'm gonna get me a put credit spread right here at this spot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Actually, it would have been fine, look like from here. But if this is a 15-minute chart. You
Mm-hmm.
would have had a lot of price movement during the day. Now, usually you would have put your PDT hack on here or your PDT hack on here. For those who, most of us PDT hack it. We ain't trying to wait till 4 o'clock if we can help it.
Mm-hmm.
But just know that if you're on the 15-minute chart, taking an actionable signal, which with the fail 2 down would be one, you need to have just know that's not gonna hold. It may or may not hold you all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that you're keeping your time frames in a realistic box. So if you're saying I'm getting in based on a 15-minute time frame and it's 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning, you to expect it to hold 6 hours could potentially be asking for a lot, especially if you don't want the whipsaw. But
Mm-hmm.
like in the case of this 11:30, this is the actionable signal. This failed 2 down here. And if you got a put credit spread below this, that would have made it, but you would have PDT hacked up here anyway. But even at the end of this, it would have been successful. You probably would have got a little nervous at the end here, but that put credit spread would have been fine. I just wanted to say that when you're using a small time frame, consider how much day left, or what is your plan. Are you trying to go all the way to expiration, or are you planning to PDT hack it? You just needed to move a certain amount. In this case, with this is actionable signal going up, once you know if you want it to be popping off, if you know you're going to PDT hack it, then this actionable signal is fine. if you're taking this signal saying, I want to ride a 15-minute at 11:30 all the way to 4 o'clock, you need to be prepared for the price to dance around. That way, if it don't do right, you just need to be ready for what you're going to have to ride the roller coaster.
Yep. Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Coach.
In this case, the roller coaster ride would have stopped you before you got hit, but you'd have been uncomfortable. Because this candle right here, that candle right there would have shut you out. It would have made you scared.
Yes. Amen.
That
Amen.
wick would have got you scared. It would have got me scared. No,
Yeah.
I waited all day and now you want to breach. No, that would have been me.
And that's because that wick shot back up.
It did. It fell back. But that's because you don't see it now, but there was a fair value gap down there.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a fair value gap that went and filled there. And then it reversed back up.
Okay. Some liquidity was in there somewhere.
Oh, that's right. Fair value gaps is where the imbalances are, and they gotta go get them. Gotta go get that imbalance. Any more questions? This has been good. And this, I hope this has
It's been excellent.
I hope this has been helpful
really
too.
good. Yeah,
really good. Very helpful.
Hope this has been helpful. Some more information to put into y'all's brains. Just more stuff. She
Yeah,
always come up in here with
I
something.
appreciate that.
I'm glad because y'all, she come with something else every week. She teaching us that fair value gaps 2 weeks ago. We VWAPing, we strat numbering. What is we doing next?
The thing about this, our listeners, it can be used on more than just the SPY.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I'm looking at other like Palantir. I'm like,
yes,
oh,
ma'am. This goes with every
okay.
stock. It goes with again, the different time frames. If you're looking for dailies, let's say you're looking at dailies, you're looking for weeklies, you want to see, when should I get in here to ride for the week? Especially if you got some actionable signals, you can look at other stock to do this with. You can look at it as a buyer, even if you're, because I know some of us are buyers. We're not all sellers all the time. It can be a buying strategy as well.
Yeah, I'm a buyer too. Sometimes I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ali,
You're not the only one.
get on them leaps.
Get on the leaps.
Yep.
But see, look at here. Like this is Palantir. Palantir back on the 8th.
That's
Palantir
exactly
on
what
the
I was
8th
looking at.
is a 1 candle. Once it broke out of that 1 candle, that's an upward ride. And the target actually would have been here, because the next big candle up would have been your target. So you could have said, if I'm just buying, I could go with that. And then if you were buying, you could put on your stop loss, your trailing stop, to say, if it keeps going, then I'll keep riding with it. Or you could just exit the trade. But it turns out Palantir kept going. But you've got an entry. You've got your entry here. You've got a stop loss at the bottom of this candle, and you've got a target. That's the one. These are the good things I like about the strat is it gives you entry, stop, and a target. So you got an entry, exit on the good side, exit with profit and exit with the stop loss. It gives you both of those things. And notice, if you kept going to this magnitude, it's almost at the magnitude of this up candle right here. It's just basically continued to go.
What time frame is that? Is that a daily?
This is the daily, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So we can look at different time frames, different stocks, buyer, seller. You can use it, make it work for you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. What else do we need? Anything else?
Yeah.
So I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I know you don't teach buying, but I'm looking at this on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have gotten in when it did the 2 up, we're calling it, right?
This one here or this one here? This here?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So
Yes.
we would have gotten in at the 164. Is that where we would have gotten in at?
If you were starting down here, you would have gotten in at the top of that 1 candle.
Oh, okay. So I should have been starting over here.
So you
So if
could
I'm
start
starting,
there.
if I'm starting at the 1, then I would have gotten in right there. Okay, when it broke the one,
top of
technically.
this, which is 158.30, yes.
When it broke it. And I do kind of, okay, so I see that. And then I would have gotten out at the 164.
162.44 at the top of this candle here, top of this red orange candle over here. You could have gotten out there. This would have been magnitude. This would have been magnitude. This would have been the next one up, basically. This is the next one up. This one here was the next one up. So you got
Because I'm thinking about this, like, so say for example, none of those candles existed.
none of what candles existed.
The ones that, okay, so you've got those triple twos there. If I got in on the one, that would have been on the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So I
You
need to
got
do
in
the
on the
back
9th.
play to
You
see
would have
how
gotten
that,
in on the 9th.
the 9th. Yeah, I would have gotten in the next day because we're on a
Yeah.
daily time frame.
Right.
So, but I wouldn't see those other candles, nor would I see those arrows.
You wouldn't see these. You're right. But you would have seen all of this. This is all old stuff.
And that's what I would be putting my, so then I am still looking back.
Yes, you are still looking back because you're looking at previous things to give you your magnitude. So if we were, this is basically where you would be. You'd be right there. This is what you would be able to see. If
Okay.
you were on the 9th, that's what you would have been able to see.
Okay.
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 So
Yep.
you would use all this stuff back here. You would use, you would enter at this first line. This would have been your entry. You could have, your first target was this line, second target, third target, fourth target, if you were still riding.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Mm-hmm.
your fourth target. Now, what we'll see is that price, if you held on, price does gap up the next day. So if you were still riding, it gapped up and you still would have been gapped all the way, but it pulled back to the line and then went up some more. But you probably would have been, may have been out by then, maybe, maybe not. Then it pulled back the next day. This would have been a 2-2 reversal. Now, this would have kind of made you a little scary because this is a 2
Mm-hmm.
reversal. But even that, it's a 2 up, 2 down, 2 up again. It reversed again. But this is why you would not have needed to stay here because you would have taken your profits at one of these other,
Right.
you're taking your profits at one of these other places, either here, here, or here. You have 4 places to take profits.
Mm-hmm.
You would have
Mm-hmm.
been out. So you wouldn't have had to endure this right here. What you could have done after that would say that, okay, once it did a 2 and a pullback, you could say, okay, now my next entry, if you wanted to get back into Palantir again, the next entry is this 2-2 reversal up here.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would enter again going up. That would have been in the 167 and some change.
Yeah.
With the plan that it was going to go up to the magnitude that it actually almost is at the top of this red candle. And the top of this red candle is 172.30. So it's almost to this one up here, 172.30.
So it doesn't really have too much room to run at this point.
Not at this point. The move has kind of happened. There is a gap here, though. There's a gap that is from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
So it may bump into that gap. It may go on and fill it, but the gap we know will provide support and resistance. It may provide some resistance.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But the strat is good. I like the strat because it is so visual and because most people are visual people. You look at, you got 1, 2, 3, you got a few actionable signals. If it ain't actionably doing nothing, you just wait. And then when it breaks out of something, then you go with it. And when it doesn't, you don't. If it's not an actionable signal, you don't do anything. You basically just say, well, it ain't doing nothing, so I'm just gonna chill out until or go find something that is doing something. If if you're looking at if you're looking at something else, you'll say, well, let me go and look at something different. So like, for example, I was gonna say Mara is a 1 on the day, but it don't look like it is an inside bar, not on the day. Maybe on the week it is. Yep. Mara is inside on the week. So once that breaks, if you were into trading Mara or whatever else, I got one for us, one that most of us look at. Microsoft. Let me clear these things off. I don't know if I'd call this a failed 2 down.
Oh, I bet I know what the O and the N was. Remember you just said it was inside?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you that's what that was telling us. And the O was saying it was a little bit outside.
Outside. Oh, yeah, it could be that. That's true. That could very well be.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call that a failed 2 down. This must be, on the 2-week time frame. Who looks at that? Look at the 2-week time frame. Failed 2 down on the 2-week time frame. That's what that is. Failed 2 down. Well, you could though. Think about failed 2 down. What could we do? Action of what's the action? We'll say it's on a 2-week time frame. What would our thoughts be with that? What would we look to do?
Well, it's definitely a swing trade, right?
Yes, it would be swing. Or as a credit spread, you could ride for the week. I mean, you don't have to, if you're selling.
That's true. We could go in and do a call credit spread at the top of the, whoops, I'm losing my screen here, of the one
You'd want it to go above
right
that 5.
there. Yeah.
What's that,
And
512?
and then maybe the stop the day before or
Stop would be the bottom. The entry candle, your entry and exit candle are the same. Your stop is there and your entry is there. So the high of this candle is 512.55. Okay, this is 512.55. So you would
this is
say
for a call credit spread or this is for
this would be for a put credit spread because the thought is that this is an actionable signal going upwards.
it is saying it's going upward.
Yeah, a failed 2 down means it's going upwards. That's indicating that it's going upwards from here.
I don't think I have mine set on 2 weeks. I think I'm still on a weekly.
Okay, and then this would be your stop loss down here. So if you were looking to do your put credit spread strikes, you could either do down here or you could do the halfway point. But the thought is that it's going up some more. The low here is 492, so I probably wouldn't go that low. 492 would feel like it's way too far away. But Microsoft, actually, may not feel too bad. 512 would be your entry. I probably would do the 50% mark, or you could use the bottom of that if you wanted, the bottom of this previous candle if you wanted, which is right at 496, maybe 500. And then the thought is that it's going to go on up. Yeah.
You know, I sometimes roll mine too.
Yeah, I'll roll my cash secure put sometimes if they're getting my strikes are being challenged, I'll roll it out. I'm trying to keep my shares.
I was in AMD last week at put credit spread. I think it was 152, 155 and 152.5 or something. And it dropped down to like 150. So I rolled it and I had to take about a $88 per contract loss. And then I only had 2 contracts, so I gave back 160 some, but it did bounce back this week. So I scooted right out. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of AMD, on the weekly chart, it's got a failed 2 down on the weekly.
Yeah, it definitely failed me last week.
How you like it failed me? This is a 2-2 reversal. So the thought is that it would potentially go back up. It's almost got a set of tweezers here. Not quite, but it's close.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't make all of the profit, but I didn't lose the whole thing. So
Right. That's really what we don't make sure we don't lose the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa, I was looking at the ES.
Oh yeah, let me go there. That's
It
what
looks like we have a 1 on the daily and the weekly.
Ooh, just kind of
Mm.
inside day. And one of the things that we trade, when it's an inside day, you kind of stay away from it because you want it to wait till it picks a direction. I'm glad we're bringing
The
that
upper
up.
book.
When it's
Yeah.
inside, we give it a chance to decide what it's going to do. So we wait until it picks a direction. So the ES on the daily, as Miss Marcia is saying, is a 1 right now, which means it's inside of the previous day, which was Friday. It hasn't gone outside just yet. And it's not been on for 4 hours, but we do have a 4-hour candle forming. It's inside. If we want a 1 hour, 1 hour is a 2 down, even though the other one, now the time frames, you see just like any other thing, the time starts, the actions you see start on the lower time frame and then they translate up to higher time frames. So though you see the 1 hour chart is showing a 2 down, the 4-hour chart is still showing inside, the daily is still showing inside, but the 1 hour chart just printed a 2 down, even though it's 42 more minutes. And remember, you're basing these on the close of the candle, not what it's doing in the middle, because if it can look like it's going to be a failed two down, and then by the time the candle closes, it does something else. We're basing these things on the candle close. Now, some people will say, if they're taking a trade, they'll say, okay, it broke out 2 going down. I'm entering as soon as it breaks. And you can, but you got to worry about the whipsaw if it comes back at you. But if you're doing credit spreads, that you do give yourself a little more room that way when you're doing credit spreads. As a buyer, you kind of put yourself in a little more of a whipsaw. But as a seller, you'd go above here and you got a little more room. So the ES right now is at 65.87. We closed Friday at what, 65.84 or something like that? Yeah, 65.84 was Friday. So we're pretty much in that same general vicinity. We'll see what the night holds and what we do through the night. But this also helps us when we're working on, Janae, you still listening? When we're
It
working
closed at
on
65.87, so it really hasn't moved.
Yeah, it hasn't moved. If we're looking at the end of the day, even if we're in our, last 15 or 30 or whatever minutes, and we're on our smaller time frames, the 5-hour or whatever. So let's look from Friday. Let's translate this to Friday. These are 15-minute charts. This is a 1 candle. This happened at 3 o'clock. It broke out to the downside at 3 o'clock. We could have done a call credit spread above that 1 candle and wrote it down. That's an actionable signal, right? 312, we would have done that. If we were going even down to a 5-minute chart, let's say we're down to the last few minutes and we're checking to see what do we want to do at the end of the day. Which actionable signals do we see on the 5-minute chart? Do y'all see what I see? I see 2 of them. I see a failed 2 down right here. So you could have got iron condor 65, 75, 80. When it left there, put credit spread. It's a failed 2 down. And when it ran back up here, we saw this 2-2 reversal, 2-3 reversal. So you've got 65, 95, 6,600. Call credit spread. This is the 5-minute chart. The last 2 Last two trades you could have taken at the end of the day based on actionable signals. Thoughts? Comments?
Oh, I learned a lot. Thank you.
Sure.
Me too.
Mhm.
Husband said me too.
Thank you, honey. Oh, goodness. All righty. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna jump off so that way I can get this time to render and get it back to the people who weren't on the call with us. We've spent a good 2.5 hours today. We learned some stuff today, boy. Yeah.
Sure did.
Learned some stuff.
Hey, this was excellent, Alyssa. I'm telling you.
Well, good.
It really was. Thank you so much.
Sure. Let's make sure too that when you see these, that you can check these and watch the video again, let it marinate. And whatever questions you have, please ask the questions. I have people who are like, I don't want to bother you. Well, I'll answer the question when I can. If you need an immediate answer, I may or may not be able to answer, but if you've got some, I will answer all the questions that there are to answer. Yep.
That last statement, or when you said that we could have took the last two trades, those were opposite trades, Coach.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know. Yeah, put credit spread and a call credit spread. You got an iron condor at the end of the day. You'd have pulled and the price ended in the middle.
Iron condor.
Tell her, Tanya.
Come over to the dark side. No, I ain't bring nobody over.
Right. No. It's dark enough over here.
I'm still on punishment.
Yeah, those are opposite trades, but you make sure that we're going outside of the range of the candle that you're entering on. That gives you a little more security and safety.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. I'm going to render this so that way we'll have it ready for the next people who are going to come and try to watch this and learn some stuff. And for us to come back and watch it again too.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
Yep. This was
Okay,
very
everybody.
profitable. Very good. Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely. You are very welcome. Everybody's got an understanding of the indicator. The indicator is Strat Assistant. That's the one I use, the Strat Assistant. There's a few different Strat ones in there. I use the Strat Assistant.
What subscription you got with TradingView, Coach?
I got the one where I get 2 screens and 5 indicators.
She got the big one.
No, not the big one, because the big one you got almost like unlimited. But this is what you do, Lisa. If you only have the one where you only get one thing, what you do is you open up one tab, put what you want on this one tab, right? Then you open up another tab, open up TradingView again, and then put in your indicators in there. So that way you can get it to do different things on different tabs. Now you might have to do that, every day when you get ready to do it, but I have the one where I get 5 indicators, and even then I get 5 indicators and 2 screens, and I'll have different stuff on the different screens. Sometimes some of the stuff is similar because I need fair value gaps in both places. I want it to be in more than one place, but that's the one I have.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you sharing your screen. So I'll get it when my money get right.
I get you, girl. I get you. Okay.
So what? 8:40?
Oh.
Exactly. And I see why you ain't going. I see the silent jokers. We know why you ain't telling them to put their phones away. It's all
What?
good. Because you have yours.
Because I have mine.
Come on now. I peeped the game.
I told you about that boy who walked up on me.
Oh my gosh,
That
Janae.
boy walked up on me and was like, "Is that TradingView?" I was like, "Get out my phone!
All
Get
up
out
in
my phone!"
mine. All up in mine. Yeah.
I was like, you in my business? I was like, oh yeah, that is. He started
But what's
talking
the
to
day
me
you
and
don't
stuff.
what are you try is there a day that you think you are trading less?
During the week.
Yeah, Friday not included.
I probably trade less on Monday and Wednesday only because I can't get in because I know I'm not available during power hour.
So
So
okay, you're more
I,
concerned about the 3 o'clock time frame.
yeah, yeah. So if I get to there, I want to make sure if I'm going to get in something earlier, I really want to be able to lock those trades because 3 to 4 o'clock, I really am. I'm able to glance, but if I need to make a move, I can't necessarily make a move because when I'm teaching that class, I need to keep pushing so we can make sure we cover all the material.
Well, maybe that's the day you say put the phones away.
Yeah, that could be.
It don't got to be on the other day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because it's a different class. They not all in the
It
same
is.
class.
This is true. This is true. Different class. So maybe when they got their phone away, I'll have mine away
There you
too.
go. But who tested? Who tested? The Monday and Wednesday people or the Tuesday and Thursday
Well,
people?
the Monday I have both classes on Monday, Tuesday, and so my college algebra class, one of them is on Monday, one of them is on Tuesday. They each took a test.
Oh, both.
So
Okay.
yeah. And then
Got
my other two classes are intermediate algebra. Their test is this week. So they'll test this coming Friday.
They'll see you on your phone. Okay, I see you.
Hey,
So
Lisa, can I ask you to look at one ticker?
sure.
ASTS.
Okay. ASTS. Okay. What is this?
That is it's like an up and coming um stock. Is yeah, it's a tech. It's AT&T and maybe Verizon have already kind of powered up with this stock so that we
Mhm.
can have cellular in third world countries.
Oh, okay.
So this is a stock that I've been in and out of since it was like $1 and something.
Okay.
I think the high is like 50 or 60. So I've got some bunch of shares that I did cash secured puts
Okay.
and I got assigned. You see how the big drop is?
Let me
But it's
turn.
a real, yeah, it's as aggressive as SPX to me. This is one of Elon Musk's stocks.
Okay.
So I was just looking at it with the strat. What do you think? It's got the on the daily, the arrow up, the weekly up.
Mm-hmm.
My strike is at about 43. So I'm too far away though. I probably should not sell covered calls till what, about 42?
Looks like the first target looks like it's below 40. So you could come as early as low as that.
But my cash secure put, my strike was 43. So I'll come in too low.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, you can't do that. You got to stay at or higher than that.
Yeah, at least 44, but it was
Yeah.
really no premium.
Yeah.
I would have had to go like a whole month out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
that's
I was
exactly.
looking at that 42 sort of looked interesting, but that's still lower. So I just need to wait till it comes up. It says on a monthly it's down, and I'm like, but why?
Mm-hmm. It's got a gap up here. It's gonna have to bump up against
On the monthly?
I'm on the daily chart.
Oh, you know what? I do have something marked on here, seller's gap.
Yep.
I see it.
From 40, 94, 40, 95, all the way up to 42 and some change.
Yeah, the high has been 60.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna have
Yeah.
to get through that gap because if there's sellers in there, then
Hmm.
it's probably gonna bump and drop down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I'll just be holding on for a while.
I'm still holding on. Yep, yep. I'm yet hold. Keep
I'm not
holding.
losing my money on it. I'm waiting.
Hold on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All righty, people. I will see y'all in the morning, 8:30-ish. Ignore Janae.
Thank you. Good night.
You know you want 840.
I know I do.
I
I
know
do.
I know you do. How about them Eagles?
Did the Jags win? Did the Jags win? Did y'all see?
Ain't nobody looking at Florida. We looking at the states that matter.
Listen, Detroit won. That's where I'm at.
You
Girl,
get a Florida, Janae.
Got
I
the
mean, she
t-shirt
is
over
so
here.
harsh. So harsh.
Y'all need to come to a blue state. Come on now.
Yes.
All right.
My husband say the Jags won.
Yay! 2 weeks in a row.
Eagles won. Oh.
They ain't Super Bowl material. We ain't worried about them.
The
All right.
Bears let us
You have a
down
good
again.
night.
All right,
All right, y'all.
See you tomorrow.
I'll see y'all.
Good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.